The biggest hip-hop records of the 90s weren't always created by the people standing in front of the microphone. Some of the greatest hooks were sung by artists who never received the spotlight. Some legendary verses were written by people whose names never appeared in the headlines. And in a few cases, the biggest stars of the decade built entire careers on words that came from someone else. The truth is, the 90s weren't just the golden era of hip-hop. They were also the era of hidden collaborators. Tonight, we're counting down 12 classic songs whose biggest secrets stayed buried for years. Some stories are inspiring. Others are heartbreaking. And a few might completely change the way you hear these records forever. Let's rewind. Number 12. Mo Money Mo Problems. The voice that everyone heard, but almost nobody knew. When the Notorious B.I.G.'s Life After Death arrived in 1997, the world was still mourning one of hip-hop's greatest legends. Then came Mo Money Mo Problems. The song exploded. It shot to number 1, dominated radio, and became one of the defining records of the summer. Everybody remembers that unforgettable hook. Stay humble, stay low, blow like Hootie, true pimp, spin no dough on the... I don't know what they want from me. Most people assumed they were hearing the famous Diana Ross sample. But that's only part of the story. The voice carrying that chorus wasn't Diana Ross at all. It belonged to Kelly Price, an up-and-coming R&B singer who had spent years working behind the scenes. Producer Sean Puff Daddy Combs wanted fresh vocals layered over the classic sample, and Kelly delivered one of the most recognizable performances of the decade. Her voice became the emotional centerpiece of the record. Yet millions of listeners never knew her name. No featured artist credit. No major recognition. Just an unforgettable performance hidden in plain sight. Back then, background vocalists often disappeared into the fine print while the stars collected the applause. Thankfully, Kelly Price eventually stepped into the spotlight herself, earning Grammy nominations and platinum albums. But before all of that, she was the voice behind one of hip-hop's biggest anthems, and almost nobody knew it. Number 11. Nuthen, but a G Thang. The rapper who lost his voice, but never stopped shaping hip-hop. In 1992, Dr. Dre changed music forever. After leaving NWA, he released The Chronic, introducing a brand new sound that would define West Coast hip-hop. At the center of that revolution was Nuthen, but a G-Thang, smooth, laid back, effortless. It also introduced the world to a young rapper named Snoop Dogg. But hidden inside the lyrics was another legend whose story is rarely told. The D.O.C. Just a few years earlier, the D.O.C. looked destined to become one of rap's biggest stars. His debut album proved he had elite lyricism. Then, tragedy struck. A devastating car accident crushed his larynx and permanently damaged his voice.
What up, Snoop? Yo, I got the feeling. Tonight's the night like Betty.
Overnight, one of hip-hop's brightest careers was transformed forever. Most artists would have disappeared. Instead, the D.O.C. reinvented himself. If he couldn't rap, he could still write. Dr. Dre trusted him completely.
Me and make my pockets fat. They wanna meet with me tonight at 7.
The D.O.C. helped write verses, shape songs, and develop the lyrical identity of Death Row Records. Even the famous line, "Like my homie D.O.C., no one can do it better," was a subtle reminder that the man behind the scenes was still there.
645 was the time on the...
Even if his own voice could never deliver those words again. It's one of hip-hop's greatest what-if stories. The rapper who lost his voice ended up writing some of the biggest records of the decade. Quick break. Before we reveal number 10.
Covers don't come at me with. Hope you ain't wanting none of my dope on my grip.
If you're enjoying these forgotten hip-hop stories, take 2 seconds to hit subscribe. Here on Flash Rewind, we dig beyond the headlines to uncover the stories, secrets, and moments that shaped hip-hop history. If you love the music, you're in the right place. Now, let's keep going.
Let my gat pop, 'cause it's 187 on an undercover car.
Number 10. Deep Cover. When the Rookie quietly wrote for the legend, every superstar has an origin story. This one changed hip-hop forever.
Stop until I get the one who makes another top.
I hope you get his ass.
In 1992, Dr. Dre was preparing his first solo release after the breakup of NWA. The song was Deep Cover. Dark. Menacing. Unlike anything fans had heard before. But behind the scenes, Dre wasn't completely convinced.
Do it on this time at the fool's place. Take my strap just in case one of his.
He reportedly struggled with parts of the record. That's when a young, unknown rapper from Long Beach stepped in. His name, Snoop Dogg. At the time, almost nobody outside California had heard of him. He wasn't famous. He didn't have a record deal. He was simply a talented newcomer introduced to Dre through Warren G.
Snoop Eastwood kicking dust as I bust police, and you never.
When it came time to finish Dre's verse, Snoop reportedly helped write it, crafting lyrics while sitting inside Dre's own house. Think about that for a second. The artist who would soon become one of rap's biggest stars was quietly helping write the comeback single for one of hip-hop's greatest producers before the world even knew his name.
Eddie Wright and I'm chilling, killing, feeling, no remorse. Yeah.
The irony is incredible. The song that introduced Snoop to the world also proved why he belonged there. Not just because of his voice, but because of his pen. And within months, the student and the mentor would become one of the greatest partnerships hip-hop has ever seen.
Cover car.
Yeah, and you don't stop.
'Cause it's one.
Coming up in part 2, we'll uncover why Old Dirty Bastard performed verses written by other members of the Wu-Tang Clan, the surprising writer behind Puff Daddy's emotional tribute, I'll Be Missing You, and how a future Harlem superstar secretly helped create one of Lil' Kim's biggest hits. Those stories are next.
And see what we can find. Crooked cops that pop us and give us a gas.
Part 2. Number 9, number 7. Title, 12 Fame. Number 8, I'll Be Missing You. The tribute that carried someone else's pen. In the spring of 1997, hip-hop was still grieving the loss of the Notorious B.I.G. Just months later, Sean Puff Daddy, Combs released I'll Be Missing You. Built around the Police's classic Every Breath You Take, the song featured Faith Evans' 112 and an emotional performance from Puff himself. It became one of the biggest records of the decade, 11 straight weeks at number 1. A Grammy Award, a global anthem of remembrance. But behind one of the most emotional verses in hip-hop history was a writer many fans never expected. Sauce Money, a respected lyricist from New York and an affiliate of Jay-Z's early circle. According to multiple accounts, Sauce Money helped write Puff's verse for the record. That revelation surprised many fans. After all, this wasn't just another commercial single.
See me die and see me fly. I call all the shots, rip all the spots.
It was a deeply personal tribute to one of Puff's closest friends. Yet, the performance was so convincing that millions believed every line had come directly from his notebook. Whether you agree with the practice or not, it highlights an important truth about the music industry.
Now we'll still be on top. Yo, I thought I told you that we won't stop. Now
Writing and performing are two different skills. Sometimes the songwriter creates the words. The artist gives them life. There's another twist to this story. Because the sample from The Police wasn't fully cleared before release, Sting, who wrote Every Breath You Take, reportedly received a significant share of the publishing income from the song. So while the tribute became a massive success, the business behind it became almost as famous as the music itself. Number 7. Crush on You. The future superstar writing hits before anyone knew his name. Before Cameron became one of Harlem's biggest rap icons. Before Dipset. Before the Pink Fur Coats. But for the platinum albums, he was simply another hungry rapper trying to get noticed. Then opportunity knocked. In 1996, Lil' Kim's groundbreaking album Hardcore featured one of its biggest radio records, Crush on You. The song remains a fan favorite to this day, but one memorable verse wasn't written by the artist performing it. According to Cam'ron himself, he was paid to write Lil Cease's verse on the track.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Check it!
At the time, Cam wasn't a household name. He wasn't even signed. He was simply a gifted writer looking for a breakthrough. Instead of waiting for fame, he used his talent to earn it. The story becomes even more interesting when you consider the timing. A future Harlem legend, helping create one of the biggest songs connected to Junior MFIA and the Bad Boy movement.
That's a valid. I get clothes custom made from a stylist.
Different crews, different neighborhoods, different styles. But behind the scenes, business often mattered more than rivalry. For Cam'ron, it was another step toward the career he'd eventually build himself. And just a few years later, the world would finally hear his own voice leading the charts instead of someone else's.
Why you standing there with the crisp in your cup? And worst come to worst, keep this on.
Mid-video break. Quick question. Which story has shocked you the most so far? Was it Kelly Price's hidden vocals? The D.O.C's incredible comeback? Or the fact that Cam'ron was quietly writing hit records before becoming a superstar himself? Drop your answer in the comments. We read every single one.
I had to let you know that I got a crush on you.
And if you're enjoying this trip through hip-hop history, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Flash Rewind. We've still got 6 unbelievable stories left, including one involving Nas, another surrounding Fat Joe, and the collaboration that changed Bad Boy Records forever. You won't want to miss them. The writer standing beside the star before he became one himself. Before either of them became household names, Cam'ron and Maze were simply 2 teenagers from Harlem chasing the same dream.
On the guest list,
Cam'ron was still waiting for his own breakthrough. Years later, an old interview took on new meaning. Cam'ron possessed elite writing ability long before he became a superstar. Sometimes the industry rewards the performer first, and the writer later. Fortunately for Cam, his own moment eventually arrived.
But I'ma still swing, and my real chicks feel what I mean. Am I right?
Number 4, Don Cartagena. The controversy that still divides hip-hop fans. Few rappers have ever displayed lyrical ability quite like Big Pun. His rhyme patterns, breath control, and internal wordplay were almost unmatched. Even fellow legends admitted he operated on another level, which is why one long-running story has never completely disappeared.
Nobody said it would be easy.
Did Big Pun help write verses for Fat Joe? Several people connected to Terror Squad, including Cuban Link, have publicly claimed that Pun contributed significant writing to Fat Joe's music during the late 1990s. Others close to the camp have echoed similar stories. Fat Joe, however, has consistently denied those claims. So unlike some of the entries on this list, this one remains a subject of debate.
Now why the sad face? Jealous for fellas is Darren Lace. Trying to find a place to recline, shine my face.
What isn't debated is the incredible respect Joe had for Pun's talent. In countless interviews, he's described Pun as a once-in-a-generation lyricist whose writing ability amazed everyone around him. When Pun passed away in 2000 at just 28 years old, hip-hop lost one of its brightest minds. And regardless of where you stand on the ghostwriting rumors,
Joe Gear 560, only the squad ride with me. Unless you a bad boy and roll with Puff Diddy. It's my city and every day.
his influence on New York rap is impossible to ignore. Sometimes the greatest legacy isn't measured by how many songs you wrote. It's measured by how many artists you inspired. Before we reveal the top 3, if you've made it this far, you're officially a real hip-hop historian. So here's another challenge. How many of these stories did you already know before watching this video? Be honest. Was it 1-3? Maybe none at all?
You better slide a catch this time.
Let us know in the comments. And if you're enjoying uncovering the hidden stories behind classic records, hit that subscribe button. Here at Flash Rewind, we're just getting started. because our top 3 might be the most surprising collaborations on this entire list.
Schools, let's choose what life you rather live, on the street stabbing kids or live.
Writers, producers, vocalists, and creative collaborators became more important than ever.
Yeah, since they was listening to Cube and listening to EP.
Some artists openly embraced collaboration. Others kept it hidden. Because during that era, admitting someone helped write your lyrics could damage your reputation. Authenticity was everything. But as the business grew, so did the need for teamwork.
140, yeah. You know, just a honey, the regular, everyday.
That's why many of the greatest records of the decade weren't created by one person. They were built by entire rooms full of talented people. Some received credit. Others never did. But without them, hip-hop history would sound completely different.